We briefly mentioned earlier that there are certain times it's okay to ignore quality scores. Let's take a closer look at some of the more common situations where these exceptions apply. The most common exception to the quality score rules are what I call pains. It doesn't really stand for anything specific, besides for painfully annoying and inconsistent number syndrome, but we call them that because these are instances that can't be understood by any logical boundaries. Sometimes the plural version of a keyword will have half the quality score of the singular version of that keyword in the same ad group. There's no logical reason why that should be the case. Sometimes adding a prefix or a suffix to a word changes the quality score dramatically, like sofa covers and sofa coverings. These instances and others that have no rhyme or reason can be very frustrating as you continuously try and fail to optimize for quality score. In these cases, you should try a few tests, and if you don't see any positive results, just walk away. Whether or not that means removing the troublesome keyword is a question that needs to be addressed on a case-by-case basis. New accounts and new lists of keywords. Every new keyword is assigned a default quality score that is not necessarily reflective of the quality score your new keywords will have tomorrow or the day after. You need to wait a little bit before making any assumptions about the health of a new keyword's quality score. As a rule, I don't begin worrying about quality scores before a keyword has at least 1,000 to 1,500 impressions, with 100 to 250 clicks. Once the keywords and ad group has accrued some actionable data, then you can start taking a look at how good or bad your quality scores are. However, if your account indicates that there's an issue with your landing page, that's something that you should take a look at right away. In most cases, landing page issues that are diagnosed right away don't go away with time. We've seen a number of cases where there's quite literally an industry glass ceiling you hit with quality scores. The legal, financial, and pharmaceutical industries are familiar with this issue. Some of these industries have gotten a bad reputation with Google after a deluge of advertisers sending traffic to shady and untrustworthy sites. As a result, Google adopted a guilty until proven innocent policy with certain keywords. We've run into this obstacle with our clients a number of times, where no matter what we did, we couldn't get past a 3 or a 4 quality score. In these cases, we persisted and we eventually were able to improve our quality scores dramatically over time. If you suspect something like this is happening in your account, reach out to a Google rep and ask them to take a further look. If you see a lot of 3 quality scores and you're averaging a position 1 to 3, you could be fairly certain that this is the issue you're running into. Google won't generally show 3 quality scores above the organic results, and if they are, you're most likely advertising in one of the blacklisted industries. If that's the case, keep on trucking. Don't worry about inflated click prices, because chances are your competitors are averaging the same quality scores and CPCs as you are. It's common for companies to serve ads when people search for a competitor's name. In fact, we've seen some excellent results with these sorts of campaigns for our clients. It's a great opportunity to highlight your sales and promotions in an ethical way, as long as you're not claiming to be the other company or denigrating their products or services. Since Google knows the user searched specifically for a company that is not yours, you'll almost always see low quality scores on these keywords. For example, if someone searches Google for State Farm motorcycle insurance and Geico targets the keyword State Farm, Geico is going to get slapped with a low quality score. Once again, whether or not you should continue to run these sorts of campaigns with low quality scores has to be assessed on an individual basis. This kind of problem can arise even when you're not specifically targeting your competition. If you sell a product that has the same name as a well-known company, you might see low quality scores for that product's keywords. In most of these cases, simply ignore the low quality scores unless as a result, your keywords are no longer profitable. We talked earlier about the inability to track historical quality scores within an AdWords account. In other words, you can't see how your quality score has changed over time. In larger accounts, it's also difficult to find the areas of your account in which quality score is suffering the most. There are ways to accomplish both of these things manually, and we'll cover both those things in the next video. But there's an extraordinary tool available I wanted to show you that can make your life so much easier. Optimizer is a multidimensional PPC tool with a ton of different features, but one of the most useful tools they offer is the ability to track historical quality score and diagnose problematic quality score areas in a cinch. I'm going to take you inside the Optimizer dashboard right now, but if you're serious about managing your AdWords account, I highly recommend signing up for an Optimizer account. Their prices are very reasonable, and the time you'll save makes the monthly cost well worth it. You can find a link to their website in the video description below. Now let's take a look at their quality score tracker tool. So here we are in the Optimizer Historical Quality Score tool. We're seeing real data from one of our clients' accounts. At the top, we can see the overall account level quality score and how it's changed over the selected date range. In this instance, we see the overall quality score was down from a 7.6 to a 7.4. Not a very significant change. I'm not usually concerned with the account level quality score for two reasons. One, it doesn't tell you where you need to optimize, and two, since we're always testing new keyword ideas that often start off with medium to low quality scores, those testing areas will be reflected in the overall quality score of the entire account. The Daily Trends panel below shows us how different key performance indicators like average CPC, clicks, CTR, conversions, cost per conversion, conversion rate, average position have changed with changes in quality score. Down here, we have keyword spread and quality score distribution. The keyword spread does a great job at showing you the overall health of your account. In this case, we're in really good shape with a very strong presence of 7s, 8s, and 9s. If I roll over the bar chart, I can see exactly how many keywords in the account have a quality score of a specific number. But even though I know this account is healthy, I also know there are some areas that could use some work. That's why the Add Groups to Optimize section over here is really helpful. I can see which ad groups are averaging low quality scores and how much those ad groups are spending. I see that the ad group named Conversion Lasso is spending a fair amount of money and it has an average quality score of 4.7. So I want to do some work on quality score in that ad group. If I click on it, I can see all this data again, but instead of seeing the data at the account level, I'm now only seeing historical quality score data for the ad group I want to optimize. Right off the bat, I see that the work we've been doing so far has paid off. This has been a really hard ad group, and we've been able to get the average from a 3 to almost a 5. That's substantial growth right there. Down at the keyword spread, I can see that we don't have a very strong showing for keywords with better quality scores in this ad group. Further down, I can see the specific keywords in the ad group, their quality scores, and their respective costs. If I want to see the historical quality score for a different date range, all I have to do is change the date range selector up here and click refresh. This is one of the optimizer tools we use most often, and I can't tell you how much time and energy it's saved us in keeping track and optimizing quality scores across hundreds of accounts. Like I said before, you don't need Optimizer to track historical quality score data. Now you have a very good understanding exactly how the AdWords auction works, how your actual cost per click is calculated, what your ad rank is, but one very important question remains. How do I diagnose quality score issues in my account? How do I figure out which ad groups, which campaigns, which keywords are suffering with quality score? And how do I go about fixing those quality scores? And how do I determine and inspect my ad groups and campaigns to discover the sore spots with quality score? And that's exactly the topics that we'll be covering in the very next video with a really cool and detailed, advanced Excel pivot table. It's going to be very informative stuff. I hope you really enjoyed this last chapter because a ton of great information you were able, with all that information, you were able to attain a very deep level of knowledge. Your understanding of the AdWords auction is, I guarantee you, way better than 90% of the people and the competitors that you'll be going up against running ad campaigns with AdWords. So thanks so much for watching this one, and we will see you in just a second in the next video. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.